Okay, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I am here with my web designer, Teresa. How are you today, Teresa?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for this topic because I hate this topic. Most of the time I go on and go, I
Yeah.
love this topic. This one I hate.
Everybody hates this topic, honestly, and we try to avoid it, and we like to stick our head in the sand and think this is not ever going to happen to me. But it's a topic that honestly is so important, and it does happen to you. It can. I've watched it happen so many times, and every time that I see it happen, it could easily be avoided with some simple minor things. And so that's really why I wanted to talk about this today. And I wanted to start off with like a little visualization so that we maybe tune in and listen. Because imagine that you have this super busy day planned, and it's a day that is going to help you up level your business. I mean, like, this is the day that is right off your vision board. This
Because you know the shit's going to hit the fan anytime you have something really important on your schedule.
Exactly. And this is the day where you're waking up and you're like, finally, I have made it. I am proving it. I am proving that I am here, and everything is going to be perfect today. And this is going to open up the door for money, for abundance, for new business, for all the things, right? And just as you're getting your day started, you look at your website and it's been hacked. And not only has it been hacked, but it's showing images that a sailor would want to blush at.
Oh,
I've seen this happen, and
oh,
it
that's
is
a nightmare.
terrifying. Now your day has been hijacked. That potential to level up your business, you're not even thinking about that because you're in panic mode. The vision board images that you had in your mind are now replaced with some images you hope to never have to remember again, because
Right.
that's what's taken over your website. And money is just flying out the window because potential customers are leaving your website. The people that you thought you were going to connect with are like, what is going on? It's not a good situation. And I'm seeing this happen. And that's why I wanted to share this little visualization, because it happened to an everyday person who was doing really amazing things in the world.
Oh.
But now her website got hacked and
It's
everything.
so, like, insidious, and I know this is a different conversation, but, like, why the hell do people even do this? Like, what is the end game? This
Money.
hacking that goes on. I mean, I was getting messages, what, a week ago from everyone going, "You've been hacked." I'm getting messages, and that was social media, right? It wasn't even
Right.
my website. That
Right.
is so scary to wake up one morning and have your website hacked, and I know we always think it's not gonna happen to us. Like, I'm too small for it to happen. Who's gonna wanna do it to me? I mean, that's even what I think, yet I have a decent amount of traffic to my website.
Well, and the small ones, honestly, are sometimes the biggest target because it's the small websites that have the least amount of security. They're the easiest to hack, and it's all about money. I mean, those unsavory pictures that are going to make a sailor blush, somebody is attracted to them, and they're going to click, and they're going to get hacked, or their information stolen, or they're going to pay money into some. I mean, like, it's huge business. And think about it. Prescription drugs is another big one that you'll see that gets put up there. People thinking they can buy their prescriptions cheaper through this online overseas website. And it's all schemes to get money. And the sad thing is that they're taking advantage of you, the small business owner, to make it happen. And I
Right.
want that to not happen to you. Like, I want to prevent that from happening to you. And there's super simple tips anybody can do that I'm sharing today. And so this is a blog post also I want to mention that you really want to go and visit, especially if you are the DIY website person. You really want to go and get this because I'm showing you how to do some of these simple tips. They're quick and easy. You've got a playlist in the sidebar to entertain you with music, and you can really put in some good solid protection without a lot of effort and save yourself from this kind of day.
Okay, so yeah, this is a must do. So tell us what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so there's 3 areas that I want to touch base on. The first one is going to be password security. The second one is hosting, and then the third is website maintenance. Okay, so password security. First of all, first and foremost, you've got to have a good password. Your kid's name, your birth date, your dog's name, they're not good passwords. And because they're easily guessed. Not only that, the number of characters is really what matters right now. So, an interesting fact when I was doing research for this month's blog is that a password of 12 characters will take 3 weeks of brute force attack to hack. So 12 characters.
Writing
So
that down, 12 characters.
when
Okay.
you have a short password, you meet just that 8 character limit that a lot of companies are enforcing. It's easier to hack. But here's something even cooler. An 18 character password of just lowercase letters will take 23 million years to hack at this point.
Oh, hold on. Crossing out the 12 characters. Okay.
Well, length matters. Now, a lot of companies are still going to require the special character, the numbers, the upper lower case. But think about this, knowing that you can, go for the 18 characters, you can create a password that is super simple and easy. And I have an example in my blog post of I love Scotch and whiskey 2019. I've got upper and lower case. It's a sentence that I'm remembering. It meets the requirements companies are looking for. It's 18 characters long, and it makes me chuckle because I really do like Scotch and whiskey. So it's not my password. It's an example. So I'm just going to toss that out there. Never share your password. But that's how simple it is to make a secured password.
Okay. I remember you giving that tip to make it a sentence. And
Make it a
that's
sentence.
super helpful. But the only problem I still have, which I'm sure everyone else has, is I need, 65 new sentences if I'm not going to repeat any of my passwords, which I'm not supposed to do. Like, that's how many passwords we all have at this point. It's like insane, especially running an online business.
And that's a whole other topic. And I know some network security guys are going to cringe when I say this, but I do reuse some of my passwords. I'm super careful when it comes to anything that is attached to my reputation and my money. I'm super careful there. But at the other one, what's the other risk is that we have 65 different passwords. We save them all, or we get one of those programs that often complicates things even more. And then we're locked out of everything. And then we go to writing them down. So we're doing other unsafe practices. So I understand why they say don't save them, but at the end, anyway, that's
Right.
another topic.
If you're doing 18 characters and you might be repeating for some things, you're still hopefully okay, but no one can guarantee anything is the bottom line.
No one can hear anything. Right now it says 23 million years to hack, but tomorrow some genius could pop up and learn how to hack it in 23 minutes. So you don't ever know, which takes me into the next point in password security, and that's two-factor authentication. And so we all have that. If you have a Gmail account, you go to log into a system for the first time and it texts you a number and it says, enter this into it. That's giving you permission. So it's a second form of verification that comes to your phone or an app on your phone is what I'm recommending for websites. That app, that number that you use to two-factor authentication changes every 60 seconds. And so it's a lot more harder for them to hack into it. And this is for WordPress and Squarespace users. This is just, don't think that if you're Squarespace, you can't be hacked. You can. There's different security levels and Squarespace takes care of a lot of that for you. But this is still an extra layer that everybody should implement.
So even if you have a web designer, you should have it where you get a authorization code every time they go in.
Yeah, I would talk to your web designer about doing two-factor authentication. And I can't imagine a web designer saying no to that, honestly.
Right. It's just another level of pain in the neck to be secure with your website, because then
it is, but it's 5 seconds of a pain in the neck, which I don't really consider it a pain in the neck. It's 5 seconds versus a whole day of a hacked website.
Oh, absolutely. It's well worth it. I'm thinking of it in the respect that I have so many programs and so many of my team members are in them. I'm getting second authorization codes all day long just so you guys can do your job. So it's like one extra. And then of course,
and that does open up new questions, because those are some of the other things they're utilizing your login information and stuff. So you have to be the one to get the authentication.
Right, we can create their own login and then do it.
Creating their own login is ideal. So that way it's definitely even more secure.
Okay.
So in the blog post, I tell you how to set all of that up. So I'm not going to go into all of that. So WordPress, Squarespace, you've got instructions there. Now, the last one with password security, this I am talking just to WordPress users, and that is changing that login URL. Now, Squarespace, you're going to log in through Squarespace, and they have the infrastructure to build in security. But WordPress is an open source software application. And so everybody can guess what your login page is. Teresa Shalhoub /WP-admin, because it's the same, your URL /WP-admin. But you can actually change that. And you can change it to something that means something to you that people can't guess. Like I could change it to Marley Pup, as my login page, which is my dog, and while yes, people might be able to figure out that's my dog, they're not going to guess that's my login page likely.
Right. Plus, then they have to know your login once they get there. So it's just like an
extra. They have to know my login. Then they have to know the 2-factor authentication. I mean, we're putting in some serious layers of protection. And everything that I'm suggesting here, it will take literally 10 minutes to put into place.
Oh, that's nice.
It's super simple. It's easy. And you can protect yourself on that one. So that's the first one, is password security. The next one is getting reliable hosting. Now, if you're a Squarespace user, you can grab a cup of coffee really quick, because I'm talking to my WordPress people right now, because Squarespace is your hosting. And again, they have that infrastructure of safety and security built into place. But WordPress, you can host with a lot of different companies. And a lot of times people will go with what's familiar or what's cheap. And while I understand that, what's familiar and cheap often sucks. And we're talking really low, slow speeds on your website, frequent outages, corrupt backups, charging for SSL. Like GoDaddy charges you for your secured shell, whereas you get that free from some of the other companies. And so getting a really good, reliable hosting company that puts security first is key. And so that's one of the things. And the one that I recommend, I put in my blog post. SiteGround is the company that I recommend hands down. They're incredible. They put security first. They take care of their clients so very well. They're no cheaper or no more expensive than GoDaddy or Bluehost or some of the other companies that are honestly kind of a nightmare to work with.
Okay. It's so hard because I feel like every web designer you've had over your lifetime tells you something different in a sense, because it's what's been really good for them in their own practice all those years, right? But you tend to keep up on all the new stuff that's coming out, and sometimes it does change.
It does. And GoDaddy has incredible marketing, and they used to be the go-to place, and they do have their place, domain registrations and things like that. But they're not in the security. I don't want to rep on GoDaddy though. So anyway, SiteGround is who I recommend, and you can get a link in my blog post there.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, yeah. So reliable hosting, we talked about that. So the number 3, that is getting a website, having a website maintenance plan in place. Whether you're doing it or your web designer's doing it, you've got to have some kind of a plan in place and taking care of your website. And this goes for Squarespace and WordPress users. Granted, Squarespace, you don't have to do weekly updates like we do in WordPress, but you do still need to have a maintenance plan in place. You need to be aware of outages when they happen, because they do happen, and get out there and test your site to make sure it's working before a customer reports to you that it's not working. You need to be checking for broken links on a regular basis, especially if you're blogging. You want to be looking for broken links on a website so that you can go out and update those, because that weakens your SEO visibility and can create vulnerabilities. So there's things like that you want to be doing. You want to have a plan in place if your website crashes, which is another blog post that I referenced in this one that you can check out. You want to remove old users that have access to your website so that they're not able to, they're not keeping up with their password security. They're probably perfectly fine people, but they could get hacked giving you access to it. And there's a lot of other little things that go into that website maintenance that you really want to be taken care of.
Which is why I have you do it and not me. everything you're saying, I'm thinking, I feel anyone who's going to be watching, like the dread coming over there. A lot.
And yes. And if you don't want to do it, I say hire this out. It's one of the best investments you're going to make in your business, because when you can be focused on your business and what you are doing well, and know that you don't ever have to stress or worry about your website, the heavy weight that comes off your shoulder is incredible. And maintenance plans don't have to be super costly and expensive and crazy, honestly. I make mine super affordable to my clients, trying to make it very accessible to people so that they have that protection in place and that they can focus on what they want to do. Because I love doing the website nerdy stuff. Like, I get all excited about that stuff. So it's awesome that people are willing to let me do that so they can go do what they're being awesome at.
All right. So all I have to say is if you're doing your own website and you're making enough money, please hire Teresa to do this stuff because it's too overwhelming. However, your blog will walk them through 10 minutes, easy fixes. I just know I never did it when I ran my own website. Like, I created my own first and second website, but I let the security lapse because I didn't really know what to do. So your blog post can walk them through it. Everyone should go and look at that. If you have a web designer, ask them if they're doing these things. And if you need someone, then reach out to Teresa and get her take on your website and the maintenance that you have or have not kept up with. And the security, of course. So,
and that's it. I want to say that you've made a good point. If you have a web designer, talk to them and make sure. A lot of times we assume they're taking care of things, but not all web designers do this, and they don't offer what I offer, which is cool. I mean, like, they set up their business on their terms, and that's cool, but make sure you understand what they're doing for you and that they're covering these things.
Absolutely. And if your web designer has disappeared, which is really the story I hear all the time, my web designer's not answering. I can't get them. They can't make the changes. They don't have time. I don't have access. It can get crazy. So if you can get all this information from your web designer from the beginning, or if you're stuck now without the information, I know you have a blog about that too, like what information you should have about your website from your web designer.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right, everyone, go have a great Wednesday. Thank you, Teresa. Always good information.
Thank you very much.
All right. It's always good information. And I feel like these live in perpetuity in my YouTube channel and on Facebook. But if you guys want to go catch up with the website Wednesdays, definitely go over to YouTube and check them out. And of course, go to Web Designs by Teresa. Teresa is a sponsor of this group and adds a tremendous amount of value. So pay her back by taking a look at all the stuff she offers if you need help. All right. So that's it. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next.